Well, I've included a sea battle at the end of this one. This is my ships going over to Mexico. You remember we're trying to find a more lucrative target on our campaign. I've been told by some people to say that this is the hard campaign, just to remind people that this is the hard one. Also, it's the one that's been done very recently. It's all been done in November of this year, in the year 2000, so that so that all the modifications are in place, and they do now raid islands. In the previous version, the enemy didn't raid islands. You didn't get amphibious assaults from the enemy. That does happen now, and of course, for a trading nation like ours, which relies on small islands around the place, it means every one of those islands is now at risk and no longer secure in the same way that it once was. That's why we're always putting troops in ports, of course. Checking on taxation levels in the American theatre by moving the slides up and down. I know I've said this before. By moving the slides up and down, you can see which area is the one that's affected the most. We've taken Alsace-Lorraine in the previous video. And of course we're now trying to get the taxation right for that. It's opened up trade with Württemberg, of course, because we're bordering on Württemberg, so we can trade by land with them. We've had to pay for that, you'll remember, but it's worth it even if we only have trade for 2 turns. In fact, we'll break even after only 1 turn. Putting a few more men into there, see if I can improve things, because if you remember, I'm expecting a rebellion in there. We're still on minuses. The population are very unhappy with me. It's a Roman Catholic area, remember. We're a Protestant occupying force. I can't really afford to get rid of the buildings that he's got and build new ones, so I can't afford to put Protestant churches in there or anything yet. So I'm basically relying on what I've got already in there. Expecting an attack from this build-up of forces in France at any moment, so I am paying some attention as well to the number of troops that I've got in Flanders. Okay, these are my pikemen that I put in Calais. I believe that must be Calais over there. I'm using them to wreck things. If you remember last time I wrecked the port, this time I'm going to try wrecking that land. You see what I've done there? This agricultural place. By going in and out of it several times, I know I've spoken about this before, but just to let you know again, it costs a lot more to repair something when you've been into that place several times with one unit. Just keep going in and out. I apologise to those I'm repeating this to, but it's definitely a good tip worth having. Right, that's my income for next turn. As ever, I'm paying attention to how I can improve the income. I've got my eyes set on the on those ships in there, of course. That's an immediate way that I can make some money. I've got large fleets around there. If I can get those ships to come out of the port, then I'll be able to capture them all and sell them for prize money. I don't need any more ships anymore, really. They won't be very good ships. He's recruiting from there. If you remember last turn, I damaged his other port where he could produce better ships. Here is just the trading port, and the best he can get are brigs. So there'll just be a few brigs in there. It should be easy meat, really. The other problem, of course, or the dilemma for me is taking soldiers out of one of my important areas. With a build-up of troops, I don't really want to be weakening my forces there, but this is just too much of a temptation for me, I'm afraid. I am going to show this battle. There are a lot of ships in it. 2 lots of mine, 2 fleets of mine, plus some British as well. But it's over in about, well, just the end of this video, and then just over half of the second. So it's only, with a speed up at the beginning of, forming the troops and all that stuff. It just comes to over 10 minutes. So I am going to include this naval battle in here. It's murder, really, I'm afraid, isn't it? My better ships I'm going to send in against against these 3 brigs. just sorting out which are the best ones to send in. The ones that you send in, the ones that you select, they're the ones that will be in first. The others will come on as reinforcements. So I'm leaving ships behind because obviously they're raiding a trade route. You need to remain on there for a period of time in order to raid the trade route. So by taking them all off, I'd be affecting the amount of money that I get from trade from there. Well, I don't want to do that. So okay, so here we go with just 4 ships against 3. Better ships, of course. You notice one of mine's got experience as well. His will have just been raised over the last 3 turns. They don't come in this formation. I've put them into this formation. I'm about to group them. There we go. So I can use them all as one, so they'll snake up and down the ocean there. There are his ships. It looks like he's coming directly towards me, so I'm going to turn left so that I can receive him full on. Obviously I'll be moving, I'm not just going to have a stationary wall of fire, but it looks like that's what he's doing. Okay, he's moving off to the left now, to our left, so I'm going to turn across there. Usual plan, we've discussed this before. Some people talk about crossing the T. It's rarely, if ever, possible to do that. So we're going virtually into the wind, not too far away, not too far off. And I expect to go... Oh, I might even actually get across the T on this one. Unusually. He's coming directly for me, and I think the reason for that is that there are so many reinforcements coming on to this map. I think he just wants to get away from them. He probably thinks I'm the smaller force. Anyway, going in with the usual chain shot. Just on auto fire at the moment, so just give a broadside from each of those ships as we go past. With a bit of luck, that should force the first one into surrender, and then we've then got 4 on 2. Sometimes I'll snake back on myself, turn back towards us here, and then fire coming round that side. But with this, there aren't that many of them. I'm just going to circle round them. It looks like something of his is going already there. I think I can see something flashing. Yes. So that one may well be out of the fight. You could micromanage this more, of course, and think, oops, right, that one is about to surrender, so I'm not going to fire 4 ships at it. I'll only fire 1. Just turning this snake a little bit off so that we can get a shot in against that front ship. He's going to get the chance to do what I like to do now, and that's pass between 2 ships so that he can fire both sides. I'm not too worried about that in this battle. It's like I said, it's a bit of a chicken shoot, this, really. Is that the right word for it? Is it duck shoot or something? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, they're all sitting ducks for me, whatever terminology we're going to use. So one of his has surrendered. His others will have taken a battering. Remember, they're only brigs. Got a chance to fire both sides now. We'll have hit the one on the right. We should be able to hit the one on the left now with that second ship. We're turning around, should be able to fire... I'm going to straighten that front ship up a bit there, because when it fires it's likely to fire... Oopsie daisy, it's just... Oh, I think it just missed my tail end ship there. That's what you have to be careful for, not hitting your own ships. So what we're doing now is we're feeding one ship through, then another one, each of them firing both sides, right and left. That other ship there we can ignore on the bottom right there, on the far right. And I'll see you on the next video when we'll finish the battle.